one of your power rankings. Why in the hell did you put the Philadelphia Eagles at number 1?
Because the Philadelphia Eagles still have not lost a game in the NFL season. You talk all you want about, they haven't played anybody. They're 8-0, but they're the worst 8-0 team you've ever seen. Blah 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 blah. It's just nonsense. They beat everybody that's in front of them. I don't care where the teams they're beating where they are. It's the teams that are on their schedule. So what you're telling me, all that tells me is that they're 8-0 because they've won 8 games that they should win. If all of those teams were teams that you believe were nobodies, then those are teams that the Philadelphia Eagles absolutely should have won. So tell me one good reason why the Philadelphia Eagles don't belong at number 1. If you don't believe the Philadelphia Eagles belong at number 1, I don't know what to tell you. They beat the Lions. They beat the Minnesota Vikings. They beat the Commanders. They beat the Jaguars. They beat the Cardinals. They beat the Cowboys. They beat the Steelers. They beat the Texans. So the Vikings and the Cowboys are 2 very quality wins. In Arizona, it's a decent win because that's a tough place to play. And the Lions, they beat 38-35, and the Lions for the first 4 weeks were the highest scoring offense in the league. So I don't know where else I can put them.
So me being a realist type of person that I am, because let's be honest, I'm the realest person on this show. If they had beaten everybody that they're supposed to beat, why didn't you have them at number 1 previous weeks? Why did it take you to week 10 to put them at the number 1 field or at the number 1 spot?
Because look, the Buffalo Bills to me were a better team. And to me, I think that if they play the Buffalo Bills, I think if they play the Kansas City Chiefs, they might get their first loss.
So why have them at number 1?
I do believe that. But right now, it's a week-by-week power ranking. And the week-by-week power ranking right now suggests to me that I can't have a team with 0 losses behind a team with 2 losses. And that's what the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs both are. They are 2 games better than the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills lost a tough game. Look, you say what you want about them being the Jets. It was still the Jets, and it's still a divisional game, and anything happens in divisional games. We know that. Divisional games are the toughest games to win, period. And the Jets are a lot better than people thought they would be, just like the Giants are a lot better than the people thought they would be, because that's just where they're at right now. You can't even explain it. Like, they're just winning games that you don't believe that they have any business winning. But you know who does believe they have business winning it? The Jets and the Giants. So this was a good win for the Jets, yes. Was it a bad loss for the Bills? I don't believe so. I don't think it was a bad loss. I think it was a divisional loss. So, yes, the Bills dropped down below the Chiefs, who beat the Titans in overtime. They dropped below the Eagles. And the Eagles right now, 2 games better than anybody else in the NFL, belong at number 1 in a week-by-week power ranking.
All right, so now that we've let the chicken out of the egg, or as they call it, I don't know what they say, but whatever, they let the peanut butter lick off the ladies. Coming in at number 10, you do have the Tennessee Titans, fresh off the loss of the Kansas City Chiefs. They did rattle off 5 wins in a row. Malik Willis was, I think he is a better version of Lamar Jackson than Lamar Jackson is. So why do you have them still in your top 10 after a loss versus the Kansas City Chiefs?
Oh, I mean, because the Tennessee Titans is a loss against the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, you kind of look at it like college, right? In a week-by-week power ranking, it's kind of like a college ranking almost. Like, I'm a little bit smarter than the college ranking system because I'm not just going to keep Alabama close to try to get them into a playoff spot. But
easy.
You look at the Tennessee Titans, and they were I believe I had them at 7 last week. And then they lose a tight game in overtime nonetheless. In Kansas City, nonetheless, I believe, correct? Was that game in Kansas City or Tennessee?
It was in Kansas City, the Arrowhead Stadium.
So you go into Arrowhead, you take Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to overtime, and you lose in overtime on a field goal. So I don't know why I would drop them more than the 3 spots that I did. Name me a team that belongs in the top 10 over the Tennessee Titans right now.
San Francisco 49ers.
You're out of your mind.
I was just saying what people were saying.
Why are the San Francisco 49ers better than Tennessee Titans?
I have no idea. That's what the people were saying in the chat.
But see, people are blinded by their fandom, right? Like I had a guy tell me today, oh well, you know, the Cowboys should be over the Giants. Well, why? I told you the Giants have two really good quality wins, and the Giants' only quality win, or the Cowboys' only quality win, is against the Giants. So yes, they beat them, and he comes back. Oh well, they beat the Giants. Okay, cool. Well, you know what? I believe I came back with the Colts beat the Chiefs. Are the Colts better than the Chiefs? Last I checked, they're not.
Right.
So just because you're a Cowboys fan doesn't mean the Cowboys are better than everybody else because you're a Cowboys fan. Do I have the Bears at number 1, Buck?
No, but you should.
No, I don't even have them in my top 15.
Right.
Because I'm realistic. So you come at me with your fandom, that's fine. But I'm going to come back at you with why they're there. And I promise you, I have a damn good reason as to why each team is where they're at.
Okay, so this team that just played the Chicago Bears, the Miami Dolphins, they went toe-to-toe with them, and it ended up being a shootout, 35-32. Ultimately ended up beating the Chicago Bears. And spoiler alert, guys, the Miami Dolphins are undefeated when Tua starts and completes a full game. So, Combs, you have them at number 9. Many people are saying that they're too low. Explain to me why you have them at number 9.
They just gave up 178 rushing yards to a quarterback. They just gave up 240-something plus yards of rushing to the Chicago Bears. They just got into a shootout with the Chicago Bears. And I'm telling you right now, they're a missed defensive pass interference, a couple, but we'll just give them the one. And I don't blame it on the refs. Look, the Bears had some drop passes in that game too that could have helped them out. But that pass to Claypool with 3 minutes to go in the game, where he got tackled by not one, but 2 Miami Dolphins defenders before the ball got there, was a clear missed pass interference where the ref was standing right in front of it, by the way. It was such a joke. Officiating in the NFL is another story we need to talk about at some point. But they just got into a shootout, and they almost lost to the Chicago Bears. You tell me one team that's above them right now that they are better than right now.
One team that's better than the Miami Dolphins, or not better than the Miami, or like, so
who's ahead of them that's not better than them?
Well, I can't say because we haven't gone that far up yet, but I would safely say that number 8, Seattle Seahawks, are a team that is better than Miami Dolphins right now. And another team that you say that people are saying that you have too low are the Seahawks, coming in at number 8. Why do you got them so low?
Well, I got them low. Eight I think is a good number for them. You know, you look at the 7 teams that I have ahead of them, and again, I don't see a team that's ahead of them that you can say, hey, look, I don't think that they're better than the Cowboys. I don't think that they're better than, you know, some of these teams that I have in the top tier. Like they're just not. They're there. Like, I like what I'm seeing. Like, the fact that Geno Smith right now is my starting fantasy quarterback, and I have, like, he started for me last week, and I the last 2 weeks, and when he started for me 2 weeks ago, I set the high score for the season in our league. Like, Geno Smith right now is doing things in Seattle, and we have to start talking more about what Geno Smith is doing in Seattle, because look at what Russell Wilson is not doing in Denver. They're winning ball games in Seattle with Geno Smith. Geno Smith is doing his thing, and that is why the Seattle Seahawks are where they are. I'm not ready to put them ahead of the Cowboys. I'm not ready to put them ahead of the Giants. I'm not ready to put them ahead of, you know, our top 5 teams. But what Geno Smith is doing, you know, with his 73% completion percentage, by the way, with, you know, his, I believe he's got something like, I think he's already got like 2,200 yards passing. Whoa. He's got something like 15 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Like, Geno Smith is doing some things. And I like what he's doing. I like what I see out of this team. Yeah, they're right now they are the 7th best team in the NFL.
Wow. You mean the eighth
Or
best team?
best team. Sorry, yeah,
it's the eighth best team because coming in at number 7, you do have the New York Football Jets, the team that just beat the number 1 team in the Buffalo Bills. How are they not a top 5 team?
Just again, it's just a process of look. Just because yes, you had a good game, you beat a team who many believe, myself included, that is probably the best team in the NFL, and you had a good game. Look, you're playing against a quarterback though that had a torn UCL, and you almost lost that game. So they're good. They're doing things. They're winning football games. They're winning games that they have no business winning, and they're just good right now. So give them their props. They are where they are, but they are not better than the teams that are ahead of them. I just wouldn't. I believe if you put them head to head with any of the teams that are ahead of them, I think that they lose the football game.
Yeah, and then coming in at number 6, you do have the Dallas Cowboys. And then at number 5, you have the New York Giants, the teams that basically I share this to NFC East groups, and everybody's like, the Cowboys should be above the Giants, yada, yada, yada. And I said just exactly what you said earlier. By that logic, then the Cowboys and Giants should be both below 8 or lower because the Giants lost to the Seahawks and then yada, yada, yada. But explain to me why you got the Cowboys at 6 and the Giants at 5. Why do you not have them flip-flop like people think you should?
Buck, are you ready for a clip? Can you clip this for me?
Clip it.
Cowboys fans, shut the fuck up. My God, I'm so sick of Cowboys fans. You know why you're at 6? Because you keep talking. Shut up. You're not better than the Giants right now heading into week 10. You're just not. You could say, oh, well, we beat them head to head. Great. There's lots of teams that beat other teams in the NFL that they're not better than. But you're the 6th best team in the NFL right now. And, well, we're not number 5. Shut up. You guys are probably the most annoying fan base I have ever met in my entire life.
Oh.
Cowboys fans keep coming at you. Oh, well, we're not number 5. How are we not better than the Giants? We beat them head to head, and we did it with a backup quarterback. You were 4-1 with that backup quarterback. It's not like he was some scrub that came off the streets. It's not like you picked him up and he was teaching in a classroom the week prior. This is a guy who up until then was undefeated as a starter until he lost his last game before Dak Prescott came back from injury. You guys got a great team. You guys are a really good football team. I believe that you still have a chance to win the NFC East. But shut up. Shut up.
A chance, Combs? You were talking about the best
they already
team
lost
in the
to
NFC,
the Eagles.
baby.
They already lost to the Eagles.
It doesn't matter.
They lost to the Eagles.
Hey, Combs.
God.
When was the last time a Super Bowl was won? Was it won in February or November? I'm asking for a friend.
When was the last time the Cowboys won one in February?
1996, baby. 1996, baby. But the Cowboys are
Cowboys
Super Bowl
fans are
bound,
still
baby.
living there.
Cowboys fans, do not listen to my man Beastie. Casey's like, you're my hero. Shut the fuck up. Cowboys going to the Super Bowl, baby. Number 4.
The Cowboys are losing like they do every year, and that's in the first round of the playoffs.
At least they'll make the playoffs,
Probably
unlike
to
your
the
Chicago
Giants.
Bears. A
Probably
team that
the
is going to make
Giants.
the playoffs, though, is the number 4 Minnesota Vikings. Why you got them at number 4 after a struggle battle with the Commanders?
Look, the Commanders are a good team. You went on the road, and they've got a good defense. And you know that I think that organization is about to turn it around. Daniel Snyder's about to sell. They're about to get to a point where they're going to probably be able to spend some money, and that team's going to get really good. They've already got a really good, solid core on that defense in Washington. So, but Minnesota just continues to win. They find a way to win. They do it every week. They are a good team. I believe they are next to the Eagles, the best team in the NFC. And so that's why I have them at 4.
Well, Combs, I hate to burst your bubble. Eagles are not best team in the NFC. The Vikings are not the best team in the NFC.
Really? Who's beat the Eagles?
Nobody as of yet. Wait till next week.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering. I'm just wondering.
But a team that has 2 losses on the season, but everybody still thinks they're the best team in the NFL period, is a team that you have coming in at number 3, and that is the Buffalo Bills. They only dropped 2 spots after losing to the New York Football Jets, but why do you have them at number 3?
Look, it was a tough loss, and there was thought about dropping them lower. I did think about dropping them lower only because I think that this injury to Josh Allen could be a big problem. But this isn't that's what people need to understand. The power rankings aren't what are you going to be. The power rankings are what are you. And right now, that's the 3rd best team in the NFL, right? Because you went out in they came into your house because this game was in Buffalo. They came into your house and beat you. And so you got to take something on the chin for that. And last week you were number 1. Now you lost. Now you're number 3.
Well,
I mean, it's just how it works. You're 2 games worse than the Eagles. The Eagles now have that spot until they lose a game. I mean, I don't see how I can have them any lower than number 1 right now, being 2 games better than everybody.
So I see what you're saying about the Eagles, and I do agree with you to an extent. But if we're doing week-to-week power rankings, and let's say Josh Allen is out moving forward with that UCL injury, I have no idea what a fucking UCL is, but whatever. I digress from
Part
that.
of your elbow.
Yeah, I know it's on your elbow, but I don't know what a UCL is. But with that being said, do you think the Buffalo Bills can legitimately beat any team in this top 10 without Josh Allen?
That's kind of a loaded question. Can they? Yes, right? Because they're playing the Vikings this week.
Right.
And I don't know if Case Keenum is that guy that can come in and he could probably keep you afloat. I mean, you got plenty of weapons. Stephon Diggs, Isaiah McKenzie, Devin Singletary. They just picked up Nyheim Hines, Dawson Knox. So you've got plenty of weapons, and your defense is good enough to at least keep you in it. And Case Keenum can be a good enough game manager to keep them afloat. They're about to play one of these other teams, a team that's right behind them, actually, and they're about to play the Minnesota Vikings.
Right.
So if they beat the Minnesota Vikings with Case Keenum, and if the Eagles lose, guess where Buffalo goes right back to number 1.
Does that knock the Eagles out of the top 5? Say it, baby.
I don't know. I'd have to see it. I'd have to see how they lose. Right.
Right.
You lose a tight game. You lose. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of how it happens. So I don't know if it'll knock them out of the top 5, but I mean, Buffalo would definitely, if a win with Case Keenum. I mean, hell, I might even think about putting them back up there and forgetting everything I said about being 2 games below.
Right.
I might do it, but that's just yes, they can stay afloat with Case Keenum.
Right. So just to recap the top 10 here, he has the Titans at 10, the Dolphins at number 9, the Seahawks at 8, 7 the Jets, 6 Cowboys, 5 Giants, 4 Vikings, 3 the Buffalo Bills, 2 Kansas City Chiefs, and 1 the Philadelphia Eagles, which we've already touched on a little bit here. Is there any team that's kind of scratching and kind of has been tugging at your heart a little bit that might make an appearance in the top 10? Because I feel these are the 10 teams that like you have kind of had in there the last 3 weeks. You just kind of shuffled them around anybody. Is there a team on the outside looking in that could possibly find their way in this week?
Yeah. So for me, I really like the Chargers. They're right outside of this at 11. So it was a good win against the Falcons, a good comeback win against the Falcons because they fell down quick in that game. I think it was 17-0 at one point. And they won 20-17. They play the Niners this week on Sunday Night Football. Then they got the Chiefs next week. So I think a win versus the Niners this week might vault them into the top 10. Depending on what the other teams in the top 10 do, and a win over the Chiefs next week would definitely, it would knock somebody out and move them into it. So the Chargers are the team that's tugging at me to get them into the top 10.
for checking out that man-hour clip. If you're interested in the next video, click the link right here. Of course, subscribe right here. And always join us Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. East Coast time, right here where you're watching this clip. And as always, Man Hour Nation, rise up.